You're watching Cricket World TV. John Pennington here in the UK, Chetan Narula in India. Hello, Chetan.
Hi John, how are you?
Very well, very well. We're all looking ahead to the Ashes here in the UK, but we want to first just talk about Sachin Tendulkar and the end of the West Indies-India series. That's it now. End of an era. Just sort of sum up your feelings and the feelings of the Indian nation, I suppose, now that he's finally called it a day and won't play much cricket again.
Well, much cricket. He wouldn't play any first class or international cricket again. So it's a sad moment for not just Indian cricket, for the entire cricket world because we have seen one of the greatest cricketers of all time retire, say adieu to the game at such a huge level. It was an emotional day in the Wankhede in Mumbai when he did that, and we all saw how much respect he has for the game when he touched the pitch, his last moment on the cricket pitch, and obviously he thanked everyone in his speech, remembering everyone from the last 24 years, thanking everyone. That humility in him is something that allowed him to reach such a stature, such love with all the people in India, because he's always carried himself like that in public, and obviously he's performed very, very well. And it was great to see the way he scored those runs. It reminded us of the Tendulkar of the past. Great to see him go out on a flourish, not struggle for his runs, and you can't tell you how much people were relieved when he didn't get out on a duck. Everybody was expecting obviously 100 from him, but 74 is good enough. I think he played very well. Some really beautiful shots in there. So yeah, all good. I think he went out in the way he wanted, winning. 2-0. He's somebody who always respects the opposition. Although the West Indies didn't really play very good cricket, 5.5 days, two Test matches. So it really showed the gap between India and West Indies as two cricketing sides in the longer format of the game. And yeah, it's been a privilege watching Sachin Tendulkar for the last 24 years, and leaves us with great memories, especially people of our generation who have not seen cricket in the 60s and 70s, or some elder people who have probably, I don't know if any of them are still alive, but probably people. There are a few people who have memories of Bradman playing. So we have seen one of at least the two greatest cricketers of all time, and that was Sachin Tendulkar. So he's, if not greater, then on an equal pedestal with Sir Don Bradman. So we've been lucky in that sense.
Now, the series as a whole, as when you reflect on that for a moment, it won't go down as a great series that many perhaps will remember due to the fact that India was so much better than the West Indies, but obviously being Tendulkar's farewell series. Rohit Sharma will remember the series for the rest of his life, a couple of hundreds for him on debut, as his debut series, Mohammad Shami as well. Just to sort of sum up the series as a whole, India very, very dominant, but just give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it will go down as one of the easiest Test victories for India. I mean, hastily arranged series for one specific purpose, for Sachin Tendulkar to go out with a high, to go out on a high. Yes, Rohit Sharma and Mohammad Shami, I think, are the two positives for India. I'm not sure that there was any other positive apart from that. Maybe the bowling of Pragyan Ocha, because he's a little bit of a doubt, because when Ravindra Jadeja is fit and in the side, Pragyan Ocha will probably not get a place in the first 11. That is the sort of thing that India are leaning towards now. So whenever they want to play four bowlers or five bowlers, so uh, I'm not sure if Pragyan Ocha will get a place in the playing 11 in South Africa, which is the next Test series for India. So this five-wicket haul, or in the first test and the nine, and then 10 wickets in the second match. Uh, 19 wickets in two matches. So it's done well for him that he will be on that plane to South Africa. So it'll be a little bit of continuity for Pragyan Oja in that particular sense. But otherwise, I think there was just two positives for India in this short series. Rohit Sharma. I mean, really short series, just 5 days of Test cricket, and you have two players, two debutants who've come through. Rohit Sharma, the need of the hour for him was to play Test cricket. He's been in great form since January. He's been carrying it to the next game. 80 all against England, kept at it, went on, went on, went on. Did well in the Champions Trophy, then the West Indies, and then the the IPL and the Champions League were his highs as well for him from a captaincy point of view. So then came the double hundred. He's then came his hundred in ODIs. Converted his 50s into 100. Then came the double hundred. So for him, it was a matter of just keep batting on and get to the next innings. And now with the Test series, he's done well here as well. 200s in two matches. It doesn't get better than that. And yeah, really looking forward to him batting in overseas conditions. In India have South Africa, New Zealand, England, Australia. Then we lead into the World Cup. So quite a lot of cricket coming up for India, and obviously Mohammad Shami will be a crucial factor because the Indian bowling is always a little dicey. Um, Ishant Sharma has been ousted from the ODI side, which I think is a really good decision because that bowler really needs to work on his basics right now. Just getting line and length is not going to cut it. But India really needed a partner for Bhuvneshwar Kumar, especially from the point of view that they needed somebody to handle the new ball along with him, as well as someone who could bowl with the older ball, get the ball to reverse a bit. Obviously, two new balls, so the reverse will be a lot less. But again, keep on working, and maybe a death bowler who can bowl those Yorkers. He got a lot of dismissals bowled in this Test series. I think that's something really good for Indian cricket. So two bright sparks. Not too much from the West Indies. Really disappointing. I read a couple of player reactions today that they were really drunk on T20 cricket. So that's what really came out. And Shane Shillingford would have been a positive, but his action has been reported. So not a lot of cheer for the West Indies.
Absolutely not, and they now got to take India on in 3 one-day internationals. You talked at some length there about the pace bowling for India. It was quite an interesting one with the squad because, as you say, they dropped Ishant Sharma, they did drop Ranganath Vinay Kumar, then he had to come back in because Daryl Kulkarni gets called up and gets injured. So does that really go to show that there is a massive lack of depth for India in the pace bowling department, certainly when it comes to one-day international cricket?
Absolutely. I think that is one of the key factors that India have been struggling so far in the bowling lineup. I mean, you go back to the 2011 World Cup, and you had to rely on Munaf Patel and Ashish Nehra, and these two bowlers would not really. I mean, Ashish Nehra did well in 2003. That was the World Cup he really did well in, and after that he really faded, playing the odd game here and there because of a lack of quality fast bowlers. Munaf Patel came in between, went to I think 2007 World Cup. So that was the time when Munaf Patel, 2006, 2007 was the time when Munaf Patel was really trying to make a mark for himself. And today, I mean, Ashish Nehra maybe has a place for himself, but Munaf Patel, really is one of those few players who played for India and then diminished, just went away from the scene. So after that, we haven't had really a good battery of fast bowlers coming in. Ishant Sharma impressed with his pace and movement in his initial years, and then it's just gone away. And the new crop, the new bunch. When Bhuvneshwar Kumar came in, I think the celebrations that really broke out on social media really told a tale. You know, that's how much India have struggled, and not just with the fast bowlers, the spinners as well. After Anil Kumble, Harbhajan Singh was there, but then he just went down. And R. Ashwin and Pragyan Ocha did a little bit, at least at home. The big test for them will be away. But yeah, right now, Dhawal Kulkarni, I think this is the second time he's earned an India call up, and the second time he would have made his debut that he's gotten injured. And it's a real bit of a shame for the Mumbai medium pacer. And I've spoken to him a couple of times, and he's really been disappointed that every time he gets there and then he's just gets injured. So that's how life is, sometimes unfair. But yeah, Arvind Kumar has got another chance. Might just be his last chance if he fails to impress this time around.
But even with those issues with the fast bowling, Chetan, you would still expect India to certainly go into this series as favourites and pull off a series win, certainly with the way that you talk about Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, players of that really in good form with the bat.
Absolutely. I think, West Indies in the limited overs format will be a little more potent threat than they were in the Test series. So, uh, in that particular sense, there will be a little more of contest, 100 overs, and they know what they're getting into. So, in that particular sense, yes. But again, despite India's bowling shortcomings against the Australian side, and despite that the West Indies will be competing a little more than the Test series because this format, suits them a little bit. But again, India's batting is at a different level altogether at the moment. You have Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Suresh Raina is an experiment at number 4, and Yuvraj Singh, he has to prove a point. Suresh Raina has to prove a point, and then MS Dhoni, and then leading into Ravindra Jadeja. So quite a lot of options for India, to just experiment. And this series is not going to be any different from an Indian victory. Uh, I would still say West Indies might just pull off a win, but 2-1 to India, maybe 3-0, but surely an Indian win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that one, Chetan. And I just want to finish with a little bit on the Ashes. I think we're sort of battling a few connection issues, so we'll maybe keep it brief. Again, I think we're very much on the same sort of lines that we think England are going to win this one, possibly 2-1. Depends on sort of weather and things. But I think we're both expecting it to be close. But I'm just interested to get a couple of minutes from you on how you see this series going as a complete outsider, and of course India having played both England and Australia at home recently, and you've seen both sides in action.
Well, yes, I was lucky enough to be present for those 8 Test matches, and saw both the teams from up close. And there's a definitive gap because England could come here and beat India, and then India really whitewashed Australia. So there's quite a big gap, and I think the summer when we had the Ashes and the Aussies went down again there, so uh, they have a few issues. The Aussies. It will be interesting to see how they have coped with those issues with their number 3, with their batting, with their bowling, with a couple of bowlers on the injured list, and obviously the question mark of Michael Clark, how much how fit he is, and England are battling a couple of fitness issues themselves. But again, England do have a good squad, and that's what really I feel. They have a good squad that's played together for a little bit of time. They've been together. They have tasted some success. The confidence level is a little up. Australia, still, looking to rebuild. Um, they're still in that process. It's not really gone anywhere. But the one thing is that they'll be playing at home, so home condition, it will be a little more of an advantage for them. Uh, I still think that England, being a superior side, they will win the series or at least draw it. But again, on a draw, drawing the series, a 5-match series, England should really come out on top. 2-1 is my guess, and the 2 Test matches is going for a draw only because the pitches we saw in the summer might were a bit slow. They might be similar in Australia, and a slower pitch in Australia, they tend to help the batsman a lot. Even in England, you might still get a result on a slow pitch, but with the new ball knowing a little bit in the morning and towards the evening. But in Australia, a slower pitch might just tend to favor the batsman. And we saw a couple of draws when Andrew Strauss led England to victory the last time around. So maybe the same this time around, but 2-1 to England definitely.
Chetan, thank you very much for that. And I suppose weather might come into play as well, but fingers crossed it won't. We're talking about the cricket for the next few months as well. So thank you to Chetan for joining us today, and thank you very much for watching Cricket World TV.